Why did Joe throw? It's a question that's been rattling around in my brain since Thursday night when the Texans tried to run a trick play with Joe Mixon throwing the football to CJ Stroud. Why did Joe throw? It's been in the back of my brains. I walked around New York City on Friday and Washington, D.C. on Saturday. Let's talk about it. Powered by my friends at BetUS. Use that code YouTube150 when you get signed up. Fourth quarter, the Texans have started a drive where it's been a pretty positive drive. They got Dell for 50 yards to get that thing started as a response to the Jets putting one on the scoreboard. And you're thinking, okay, they're kind of rolling finally. Dell for 50 yards. They get a couple of runs from Joe Mixon. They find themselves in a 2nd and 7. And they run a trick play with Joe Mixon where he tries to throw the ball to CJ Stroud, and it doesn't work. 3rd down, they get sacked. 4th down, they kick a field goal, but they get another chance because of a Jets penalty, but then ultimately they end up missing a field goal when that drive is all said and done. And Nico Ryans is right. When postgame he said it's not ever about one particular play. And he's right. Yes, if this trick play works and they score a touchdown, there's probably a little bit less criticism for it, but the thought process behind it is still not good. The process to get to calling that play is what's in question, not the result of the play, the process that gets to that play. The Texans had just converted a 4th and short with Joe Mixon, and then he ran for 3 yards on 1st down. They kind of had this Jets defense teetering a little bit, and then they gave him a break by running a play that just didn't really have a lot of chance to succeed. Nico Ryan says they didn't get the look that they wanted in this play, and it wasn't executed well. Okay, well, that's an issue for the Texans because when we were critical of an end of Green Bay situation with the Texans, Bobby Slowick said that the Texans didn't get the look that they wanted on 3rd and 15 and that the play wasn't, executed totally well. So there's a little bit of a issue here with this Texans play calling, the timeliness of it from time to time. It doesn't quite fit or always work. Let's walk through the play here and let's take a look at it and see exactly if this thing ever would have worked. This is the broadcast view of things. Immediately, CJ Stroud's out there, and then he slows down and takes off as he accelerates there, and it doesn't work. And yeah, maybe a little grabby there, but all right, here's the all 22 view. And if you look here over on the left, it looks like Mixon might have had Tank Dell, and maybe that's where the play was supposed to go, but the Jets were clearly ready for the CJ Stroud part of this play. Mixon catches the ball, and I'm actually going to stop it here in the middle here. I wonder if maybe you see 56 fill this hole in a second. I wonder if maybe Mixon was supposed to have the opportunity to run through that hole there, but it gets filled up by 39. 56 comes around, and then Mixon's got to throw the thing. So it didn't work. The play didn't work, and the look wasn't there, and the execution wasn't there. Okay, well, throw that play out. Don't call that play. This is coming off of a week where they didn't have real practice either. They had walkthroughs all week because it was a short week to get ready for this one. Again, the result of the play is not where I would be upset. The result of the play is not the factor in this. It's how you get to this, how the Texans, in a very manageable 2nd and 7, take the ball out of Joe Mixon's hands from a running standpoint, take the ball out of CJ Stroud's hand from a throwing standpoint on a drive where they are moving. They're moving well. That's the tough part for me. That's the tough part to kind of remedy with this thought process that the Texans had, is just that it was not the right play call and the right decision, the right road to go down with this offense at that time. And again, Nico Ryan's, hey, if it works, you look genius. If it doesn't work, why did you call the play? No, even if it works, why did you call that play? And yes, the goal is to score a touchdown. So if you call a play that scores a touchdown, then yeah, it's a positive. But you're still taking an unnecessary risk in this element of the game. You're still taking an unnecessary risk, which is a low percentage play. How many times does that play work? How many times has it worked in practice would be another question. And you didn't get to run it in a practice situation this week because you had walkthroughs all week. It's just a curious time for the Texans to call that. But if they're going to call some trick plays and try to get CJ Stroud a receiving touchdown or Joe Mixon a passing touchdown, there's all sorts of fun things you can do with the BetUS prop builder. Look at this beautiful prop builder. You've got so many different things from an NFL Sunday or a Texans primetime game, from over-unders on all these different stats, who's going to score touchdowns. Now, this is the look for the entire NFL slate, but who's going to score a touchdown? I love that one in Texans games as well. YouTube 150 is the code when you get signed up. You're going to get a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. BetUS is also going to give you a bonus on those next two deposits as well, up to $2,000. So it's a great way to get signed up, get you a little bit of extra jangle to play with over at BetUS. Use that code YouTube150. And again, so many different things to go through with this prop builder. And then if you just want just regular old, hey, the Texans are going to win, their opponents are going to win, Texans are going to cover, their opponents are going to cover, over-unders, they got all that for you at BetUS too. It's fantastic. Now, where do we go from here with the Texans and some of the play calling? Look, Bobby Slowick's got to tighten some things up here. The processing and the thought process behind how they operate and how they approach certain plays at certain times in the game, they get a little bit too risky. They go high risk, medium to low reward sometimes. I think back to 3rd and 15 when they threw a 10-yard out to Tank Dell against the Green Bay Packers. And then I think about this one, like it is a high risk because if it doesn't work, you put yourself in a precarious position, and a lower reward. Certainly the pass to Tank Dell was not going to net them a first down, and it probably wasn't going to get the Packers to use their final timeout. And in this one, yeah, the chance is a touchdown, but do you have a better chance of scoring a touchdown if you just put it in Joe Mixon's hands with a regular rushing play, or let CJ Stroud throw it on a regular passing play? That's kind of what I would be thinking about or asking about if I was putting myself through the paces with the process of the Texans. And look, they had the little mini bye to kind of exhale, get rid of some of the demons that they've had for the past few weeks where it's been tough to get things going on offense consistently, and the offensive line has given them so many problems, especially over the past 3 games where they've gone 1-2 in those 3 games. So they've had a little bit of time. There's no bye week to go and like kind of fix this. They've got to really adjust and fix on the fly a lot of what's going on with this play calling, and that's up to Bobby Slowick and his staff to put that together. They don't have room for error in their play calling. They've got to be as good as possible. They can't take unnecessary risks in the play calling. Not to say that they need to be super safe and they need to be predictable, which sometimes they even are predictable, but they've got to have a style of play calling that eliminates room for error, because they don't have a room for error right now on offense. They live in the margins when it comes to this offense. They've got to be close to perfect in a lot of different facets of this offense to make it work. And part of that is the play calling, that they need to be close to perfect. You can't have a curiously timed halfback pass that puts you in a 3rd and long situation, because what happened in that 3rd and long situation? CJ Stroud got sacked, and then Healy got sacked out of field goal range, actually. Kaimi actually hit the field goal. Then it was Jets penalty, and then Kaimi missed a shorter field goal, so he's got to hit his field goals as well. I digress. They got to be better on the play calling, and plays like that, curious timing for stuff like that, it's just not there for the Texans right now. Put some stuff together, stack some victories, stack some wins, certainly. You want to get a little crazy and have a Joe Mixon passing play or a CJ Stroud receiving play or something like that. Yeah, but there's been elements and issues with Bobby Slowick's play calling and the timing of some of these more inventive, less successful plays that the Texans have run. It's not just the Tank Dell at the end of the game. It's not just the Joe Mixon in the 4th quarter here against the Jets. There's also been stuff like reverses or end arounds at poorly timed spots, putting them in 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs. So they got to be much better on the play calling. What say you? Let me know in the comment section down below on your way down there. Throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out BetUS with that code YouTube150. Appreciate them powering this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.